All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mission 4 of the F-4 only Mercenary difficulty playthrough, Project Wingman. Let's get right into it. We have a briefing for this mission.
Listen up. We're about to get started. A lot of mercenaries from around the world have made their way into the country, as I'm sure you've seen. However, Sicario is currently one of the only groups that can throw around enough fighters to aid in the air war. Cascadia's National Guard was quickly scattered and taken out by Federation military forces when we originally tried to force them out of Cascadia. They came without mercy, eliminating more than 30% of our active forces. These last few weeks have been disastrous, and we're on the verge of capitulating into a full-blown guerrilla war. We'd like to avoid this, and because of that, Sicario will be deployed immediately to several of our units currently in need of support.
Hitman team, you will be deployed to an agricultural area to the south. One of the Independence Force's surviving battalions has been driven there by a Federation offensive. Presently, a collection of Allied officers preside over a rather notable amount of manpower. The Federation is currently engaged using air and ground units, so a multifaceted loadout is suggested. You might catch the Federation off guard, however, anticipate retaliation in short order. Launch and lift the siege. If that battalion falls, our forces won't have enough manpower or command to organize again.
All right, so relatively short briefing, but let me tell you, this is not a relatively short mission at all. In fact, I have a feeling that this one's going to lag a little bit, because as you'll see, when Project Wingman names itself Mercenary difficulty, this is the mission, type of mission that you think of. So, we're going to need to be very prepared for this one, because this is a mission that you can very easily die on. As not only is there airship spam from the second mission, where I survived with less than 1 health, you have land battleship spam. So, for this mission, this is going to be our loadout. Lots of multi-lock air-to-air missiles to hit the airships from far away, and then you're going to need unguided bombs to quickly take out the land battleships. And since this is a more jungle environment, we're going to use the jungle camouflage, even if it does say that we're flying for the Federation. So I just wanted to warn you all ahead of time that there's a good chance, because there's so many enemies on the map, that it's going to lag.
Hitman 1, you have the runway. On you.
In fact, I'm almost sure of it. Always love to start with a good takeoff minigame, though. As you see, this is Rose Dower, which we captured in the last mission without too much difficulty. So, Mercenary, this mission can be divided into 2 phases. The first phase, which we're going to do first. So,
Ryan, as far as the eye can see. Hey, Dad, you were the privileged kid. This place put out anything good? It's been over 10 years, Mick, since we've been in Cascadia. I'd have no idea. Galaxy to Hitman team. I'm patching you through the Independence Force comm frequency.
also, I love the soundtrack in this mission. It's phenomenal.
Signature starting now.
Really gets the blood pumping.
Operational Monarch. Think we can afford to share a bottle of red at the end of the day? This is General Elizabeth of the Independence Force. Secure all the stats. We need immediate fire support.
As you can see, there's already a land battleship that's firing in this direction. So that's what I'm talking about. This is going to need to get taken out. Really, you have to conserve your health with these particular moments, because you're going to have to do some dangerous bombing runs, as I'm about to do right here.
Task Mother. Not exactly the reinforcements we asked for. All con be advised. We have allied air support overhead. Laced
So it's all about prioritizing these dangerous targets right here. So now that we took care of that, we can now pick off the rest of these guys. And annoyingly, these tanks for some reason can tank an unguided bomb, which is always interesting decision by game developers here. So far, so good. Again, just making sure we protect our health here. We're going to bag this airship, and then we're going to take out the other one. Just to spice up the walkthrough, why don't we use some more unconventional means to take it out? Since we're right here. You know, we love bombing airships in this combat. You can do it in Project Wingman. There's your visual evidence. Now you definitely want to have, I would say, at least 85% health. You can see the land battleship there that we destroyed just kind of sitting there. You want to have, I would say, at least 85% health for the second phase, because if you thought there were a lot of targets for the first phase, which there are, by the way, ooh, wait till you see the second phase, my friends. Bagging all the ground targets here. As I said, my preference is always to go after the ground targets first.
Enemies locking on. Break.
Almost still got that SU-30.
Radar lock. Take them down.
Looking for the transports here. They kind of fly around and improve the airspace. In fact, there looks like there's one right there, indeed. Now the rest of these are just regular fighter aircraft, so we'll use our usual high-speed, rotational, vertical fighting techniques here. My friend flared there, wasn't able to get him. Wow, my teammate actually bagged someone. You can't always count on them in this game. See, that was a great example of a beautiful head-on attack maneuver. Let's do it again. The F-15s aren't too bad to take out. It's these guys, these SU-30s. You got to use the guns on. You can see I'm falling into the trap of getting into a turning fight with these guys, but no other real good avenue. Because the head-on maneuvers don't work that well on the Su-30s. And you can see this is a very frustrating part of Mercenary. Notice how I'm trying to turn to get behind this guy, and he just keeps turning in a circle with me. Very frustrating. As you can see, they're also very frustrating, you know. So, we're just going to have to get some distance here because these guys are, you know, basically playing like cowards. Amazingly, I didn't hit him with my guns there. I would have sworn I would have been able to, given that I have my reticle trained on the fellow. Yeah, you can see they're very annoying how they can just, you know, always dodge these attacks. And it really just degenerates into a circle jerk here, so I'm going to use my own advice here and gain some altitude and attack from the vertical, because you just can't get involved in a turning fight with these guys. It's never going to work. And the unfortunate thing is they're taking the fight even higher in the sky, you know, without my teammates really helping me out here. Well, it looks like one guy may be firing at him. Yeah, but yeah, you can see we're basically completely out of the vertical advantage here. Honestly, if anything is frustrating about Mercenary, this is the most frustrating part right here, is these, you know, just circle jerks that you get stuck in because you don't have AOA, you know, and so forth. Okay, so now that the first phase is done, if you thought there were a lot of targets in the first phase, well, take a look at the map for the second phase. There you go. So again, what we're going to want to do here is prioritize the dangerous targets, get those off the map first. You can see here, there's not only one, but 2 land battleships now. So we're going to immediately go after these things because we definitely don't want these flying around. Or driving around as we're flying around. And I'm going to need to use some of my health to take these guys out. So that's one threat eliminated there. But you'll see there's pretty significant land or air battleships. We took care of the land. You can see there's the air one over there. Now the big question is whether you use the multi-locks or you use the unguided bombs. I'm going to take out this smaller one first. We're going to use it. We're going to attempt to bomb that one right there. Fortunately, we missed, but fortunately, we have plenty of unguided bombs, relatively speaking. Let's see. Okay, we got a great angle on this guy right here. We're going to take out his. Yep, ran out of flares there, but we were able to take care of them with the unguided bomb. So again, as I said, really on this mission, especially when you're flying the F-4, really all about using your health. You're essentially using your health to destroy these targets. Now, as far as I'm aware, there should be one more land ship or airship left. Question is we gotta go find it. I'm just trying to scan for it on my map. But we may have taken care of them. Well, if I do recall, I remember there being more. More land battleships, or air battleships, that is.
Missile is on the way.
But I guess we took care of them all.
Right on target.
Which means that the rest of this mission should be relatively smooth sailing, but obviously, you know, it takes losing half your health to get there. Which is the tricky part. Because otherwise, if you just let them exist and you try and dodge them and they just keep peppering you, you end up with something like we had in Mission 2, where, you know, I only have 1% health left. Obviously, that's not good. Take out these railguns here. Don't want them hanging around. I'm going to drop some more of these multi-lock missiles, see if we can collect some of those targets. We got one. Not the most efficient use of that weaponry. But honestly, this isn't awful, if I'm being honest right here. Yeah. Having all these targets and everything. It's really just the dogfights that are the most frustrating part on Mercenary, because yeah, they can dodge all your missiles, and if you try and get behind them, you know, you just get locked into a circle jerk and can do absolutely nothing. But all this enemy spam is honestly not the worst. As weird as that sounds. It's honestly quite manageable. It's just if you don't do it right, you'll run yourself into trouble. Now we're just wrapping up all the non-mission critical targets here, because I have OCD, like some other Ace Combat players, and need to destroy everything. In other words, completely wipe the map before we destroy the final, you know, critical mission target, actual mission target. So we're just gonna finish off these Vigans here. And I'm gonna try and get some distance, see if we can snipe them for what we have remaining of our Sparrows. I can confirm these are Sparrows because this is the F-4 that's firing them, so they're definitely Sparrows. Unfortunately, it's just taking out the transports rather than the fighters, which is not what I want. I want to take out the fighters. So these are the non-mission critical targets here. With that, done it, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, don't think finishing with half health is terrible here. But as you can see, there are so many targets, you know, basically have no unguided bombs left. Honestly, we'll use over 100 standard missiles. You know, that's quite a lot of ammunition. If World War II and Call of Duty taught me anything, you always got to protect the ammunition supply, even when it rapes your ears. That is a success.
or no factor.
Good God, we're alive.
I only had to sweat a little bit.
Think those mercs accept tips?
I think you're going to find the most enjoyment when I try and fight the dogfighting missions in this F-4. That's when I think I'm going to lose my mind.
Affirmative. A crowd. Mercenaries. Hard copy. Issuing theater-wide alert. Mercenary forces are now in play by the rebels.
Hitman Team, RTB. We're reporting similar successes up and down Cascadia. If Monarch keeps racking up kills like that, we're gonna need a bigger offshore account.
Us versus the Federation. Yep, that's what we're doing now. No big deal, right? Right? Keep your nerves on you. Monarch seems to be playing out just fine. Ain't that right, Lead? Well, Monarch's Monarch, and that's besides the point. We're home. Been about a decade, but we're back. Fighting the goddamn New World Order.
With that, we have a success. Let's hope the boss thinks so too.
Good job, Hitman Team. General Elizabeth reports your tactical support pretty much saved his men and a respectable amount of firepower for the Independence Force. Combined with deployments by the rest of Sicario and other mercenaries, we've been brought back from the brink and have stabilized our territory. Being able to maintain proper military formation and territory means we'll be able to wage this war the right way. Stand by for further taskings and get some rest.
Not a bad payout too, I must add. But I want to thank everyone for joining me for Mission 4. Definitely a trickier one, though because it's mostly air-to-ground targets, it's not as bad as one may think it'll be. When we get to the air-to-air missions, though, it'll be a different story. So look forward to that on the next mission. 4.3. I'll see you on that one.